Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome. Welcome to another episode of What's Going On at SwagHer. I'm geeked and excited to be here. I think every time I meet a new guest and I'm able to interview, they just brighten up my life because it's just amazing how we can interact with so many different people online. Even though this pandemic is here, it does not mean we can't connect, that we can't relate, and that we can't learn more about amazing people doing amazing things in the community. So if you don't know, my name is Tara. I am the media personality for SwagHer, but um, I am also the founder of Fontenot Solutions. We are your end-to-end accounting and business operations outsourcing firm. So if you're not following us already, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and follow us at Fontenot Solutions on all of our social media platforms. So today, our special guest is Dr. Carlene Randolph. She is a serial entrepreneur, a mind coach, and an author. I am so excited for you to meet her. So if you haven't done so already, go grab your tea, go grab your coffee, grab your notebook and pen, because you're gonna want to hear what she has to say, what she's doing, and the why behind what she's doing. Before we went live, I'm gonna give you guys transparency. Before we went live, she was sharing with me things that she was doing, and it was just so enticing. It was just so uplifting. I had to tell her, wait, stop. Like, I want you to share this with everyone else. So you guys are in for a treat. So if you haven't done so already, go ahead and click that like button, go ahead and click that share button, because we're about to get live with Dr. Carlene Randolph. So Dr. Carlene, I want you to definitely give a bio about yourself and introduce yourself to the world, please.
Sure. So I love this part. So of course, yes, I am a serial entrepreneur. I have been in business, several businesses over a 23-year span. I have formerly been a host for a radio show in Kentucky and in Metro Atlanta. I am now doing many other projects aside from that. So yes, a podcaster, a blogger, the list goes on. So that's in short.
Yes, yes, which is lovely. So in sharing that bio, please tell me, have you always seen yourself as an entrepreneur, or was this something that kind of fell into your lap?
So at 24 years old, I was a divorced mom who ended up living in my car with my children for about 2 years. I ran into the boss of my former husband, and he decided to sit down with me and talk about how I could establish myself as a business owner and never have to worry about being in the place that I was at that time. And so when he offered up the information, I never saw it. I never grew up in a family where that information was open to me, right? We were always told you need to get a job, you need to get a college education, and make sure you're doing everything you need to do to keep that job. And so, anyway, this individual owned several professional organizations, and he exposed me to so much. I started getting out there and just creating businesses. One led to another. The first was a mobile cosmetology service. And at that time, there was no one out there offering such a service, right? We're talking about late 80s, early 90s. And so I knew that there was something that I could offer. And so I offered the services in the DMV area. And that business picked up so well that I decided, okay, let me go back to the table and figure out what else I can do. His suggestion was to start investing in real estate. And so from there, it just rolled into something else, right? And so, no, but I never imagined.
Seeing that the things you just mentioned that you were doing back then is some of the things that some people are just starting to embrace now.
Yes, yes,
So
yes,
you are the educator that we need to hear from,
yes.
especially with the real estate. It is a booming thing that people are sharing, and you were doing it back then. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, and at the time that I was doing, I was appalled at the thought that there were not a lot of people who were doing that in the industry. I
Mhm.
was a young Black female, but I didn't see too many investors looking like me.
Yes, yes. I can definitely see that. Because even now we can kind of say the same thing, just a little bit. You see some more, but there could definitely be more.
Mhm.
So I can just imagine how the arena or the atmosphere was back then. So I know that we talked about some new launches that you have. One of them is When Black Girls Heal. Please tell me, and you just gave a breath of fresh air. So please tell me, and that smile is just there. So please tell me what inspired the launch.
So, of course, over the years, I've had many clients who are Black female entrepreneurs, and they've gained the traction in building their businesses. But over the years, at working with the clients, I also noticed that they were still places in their lives where they weren't actually healed, or they were seeking something, and we could just never get them exactly where I wanted them to be, right? And so my thought is always, if your personal life is together, your business is going to take off exponentially. And so I decided to continue to kind of take my notes, continue to put some thought around it. And so I created When Black Girls Healed. And so, you know, of course, my tagline is thriving beyond the pain. It's something that Black women have done historically for ages, right? We've thrived, right? But we have never really stepped back and said, I really need to heal this place in my life. As a mom, as a business owner, as a partner, as a sibling, there are some things going into my life, and I need to step back and kind of fix it so that I can move forward more freely.
Wow. And I could just so relate to that. I guess in your experience, did you see that as you're with your clients, did you see they wanted more because they're trying to connect with you, but their mind and things that they were just holding on to wasn't allowed them to reach that more? Is that what you
Absolutely. Absolutely. So here's something that I usually say to my clients, and I'm going to take a look at my notes because I want to make sure I get it dead on, right? Healing is all about hearing yourself say what I can do without filtering my wound, right? It's it's sore, you got a sore spot. You're showing it to the world. I've got a sore spot. It's like the lady who says, I don't need anybody's help,
Hmm,
right? I
hmm,
can do everything myself. I don't need anybody's help. And the first time I hear that from a female, it's like, okay, you've got a open wound, right? That you're displaying to the world, but yet you're saying on the converse, I don't need any help. And at that moment, we kind of get into a session where it's, you have a wound, something has happened. Look, it's happened to me, right? I know it's happened to every woman out there. You've been disappointed at some point in life, and it hurts.
and it
It
hurt.
hurts, right? At the core of you, you say, I'm never going to experience this again. And so from now on, I'm going to take care of it, right? And so we can't continue to live like that as Black sisters. The other side of it too is we've also become backbiters. We become the crabs in the pot, and we don't reach back to help a sister. There are a lot of us who will be jealous at the fact that this sister is propelling herself so forward that I can't catch up. But what you fail to realize is that's her path.
That's right.
All right. And so we have to kind of reel folks back and get them to be mindful of what their path is. And if it's to have a stellar moment in income or in fame and fortune, we kind of help them sit back and, kind of unpeel the onion to get to the core of why you want that. Is that what you really want at the end of the day? And if that is the path, we help you get onto that path. But first, know where all your angst is coming from. So we build alliances within When Black Girls Heal. We also make sure that we get to the core of life situations that make it so difficult for us to move forward. And when we can't figure out why, it can be as simple as having a better understanding of life, or something that's happening in life, or a better understanding of what's happening with your business life. So
Wow. But from your experience with your clients, will you say that having you as a mindset coach has helped them thrive?
I do believe that most of them are thriving when they come to me. However, they're stuck at some point. And I, kind of sit down with them and try to unpeel what that is. And once that has moved, yes, they move exponentially, right? I've taken folks from five-figure incomes to six-figure incomes. It just depends on, where they are and how they seek out that healing.
Yes, yes. Um, if someone wants to connect with you to get that support, how do they do that?
So of course they can reach me here at Facebook. And that would be at When Black Girls Heal. We also have a private a group within Facebook that they can also join if they want to get to me directly. The email is info@womenignitenow.com. And of course, they can also reach me by phone, which is 410-831-9151.
Look, you guys, she just gave out the phone number. So this is the serious biz. So if you're just joining us, I definitely encourage you to go to the beginning, hear more about Dr. Carlene so that you can learn what she's doing and her purpose in her journey. We just talked about When Black Girls Heal and how that can be an asset, a funnel for you or someone that you know. So definitely tag them, definitely share this video to get this out. Now, Dr. Colleen, I know you are a serial entrepreneur, so you have books and you're an author, but I definitely wanted you to touch and talk about green tea and donuts, 6 steps to living your best life. Now, of course, I'm going to ask about the title. Where did that mindset come from to make green tea and donuts?
So, as a young girl, I always did what my family wanted me to do. Right, only child. Kai, you gotta make sure you do this. You gotta make sure you do that. So they gave me a strict path to follow. But young kids, they're gonna find a way to have some fun.
Yeah,
What's that? Cindy Lauper. Girls just want to have fun, right?
that's right.
So for me, the green tea represents that kind of strict path. You hear the healthcare industry say, well, green tea does so many things for you, and creating a long life path. You become healthier. There's so many things to going that strict path, right? But then you have the donuts, which are the sweet things, and it's kind of taking you off the path and helping you enjoy life a little bit more. And so that's the reason why the book became that. And plus, I love green tea, um, and I love some donuts.
I love that. I'm definitely going to look at it so differently because I'm a green tea girl, but I'm definitely going to look at it differently, but in a more positive way. Because I too feel that, like you say, you have this path of life that you have to be straight and narrow. You can't turn, can't redirect. But those donuts, those little donut holes, may we say, that can help you just enjoy life a little more while you're on that path.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So the 6 steps to living the best life, how can we embrace in that? How can we get that book?
So you can purchase the book. All my books are on Amazon. Um, I just want to say this, that taking the path to living your best life is sometimes people make it harder than it should be, right? I always, I'm amazed by the fact that people just want to take the long way to getting to somewhere that is so simple, right? It's simple steps, from getting you from a chaotic place to just a simple life, right? And make things so much happier. And so part of it's redesigning, part of it's rediscovering yourself, part of it is reinvigorating who you are and where you stand at the point in life that you pick that book up, right? And most people want to, oh, I want to start all over again. And I'm like, start all over again would mean rebirth, right? Um, and so if you were rebirthing yourself, what things would you add to who you are? Because you certainly aren't going to take away from who you are at the core of yourself. Um, but what you can do is just add so much more value to your life so that you can add value to other folks' lives, right? And so, um, it's all those aspects tied up in one. And at the end, I put a call to action in the book, and that is to make sure that you're journaling when you start your journey. The other thing is to understand that it may have taken you, I'm 55, right? It took me 55 years to get to where I am. And so, I want to say to folks that it's going to take you a little time to reinvent yourself if that is what you're seeking to do. But in the midst of all of that reinventing, I want you to take a step back and enjoy every moment of that, right? And you definitely can't eat an elephant in full. You've got to take it in bites. And so I want people to take things in chunks and enjoy each chunk as they go. Because when you look back, you'll notice that, wow, I have so much more freedom. I have so much more time for myself and my family. I have so much more love for what I've created in my life. And that's a significance for that book.
So, Dr. Carlene, would you say when there is that the phrase is true that I can become my best self?
Yes, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. And if more people took the time out to kind of discover what that meant, we'd have a whole lot more happier people. um, but it's so simple that it's very difficult for people to get it.
It is. It is. And I think it's maybe the way we were brought up,
Mhm.
the family aspect. Like, what do you mean your best self? You are who you are, is probably what some of us have been used to hearing. So when we hear that becoming your best self, if we're not in that mindset to accept it, we don't know what it means.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you as a mindset coach, I think definitely is necessary. I think what you do is powerful because you help bring us out of a dark cloud that we don't even know we're in probably most of the time.
Mhm. Mhm. That's so true.
So in a next step, if you come across that new person or that person that says, Dr. Carlene, I think I need you, is there a certain question that you would ask us to get that clarification of, yes, this you're in the right place. Yes, I can help.
I think that, the first question I usually ask is, what's your why? And, that is so important, to know what's your why. And I ask that question a number of times, so that the person can really get to where they are. And that's a little difficult. So, I just, you have to understand what's your why.
If you need to take a moment, we're live. This is we're virtual.
Look, the children are in school right now, right? So I think this one is having a problem with his class.
That's okay. I had one over here printing, so trust me, I
Yeah,
know.
the sister just pulled him in.
Um, the why, and I thank you for saying that. So you guys definitely, if you haven't done so already, definitely go ahead and just go back and click the replay button and catch all of the things that we talked about that Dr. Carlene Randolph can definitely help you with in being an author and being a mindset coach and being a serial entrepreneur. So tell us more about the serial entrepreneurship and what you're doing. I know you're author, I know you're a mindset coach. What are some other things that you have on your plate?
So I have another business that is called Women Ignite Now. That is basically for micro and small business female business owners who are at startup all the way up to 6 years, who are looking to build their brands clearly, and they're looking to create philanthropic opportunities in the communities that they serve, so that they can have a long lasting relationship with the community and build their business as well. And so that business has been around for a couple of years. We have ongoing classes, programs, excuse me. And one of the programs is called Power Up, the Power Up Accelerator. And so we take women from through a 9-month period to talk about all the aspects of their business. So one of the things I wanted to throw out is the Small Business Administration has said that in the first 2 years of business life for most Black females, they will not live to see a year beyond 2 years. And so they lose about 20% of Black female entrepreneurs in their beginning. And by the fourth year, there's another 20% of us that are lost. We lose our business. It's because we don't understand what the framework looks like. What does it mean to have a standard operating procedure? We've always done business like this, and you have to explain that your infrastructure needs to be intact in order to help you move on. By year 6, there's another 20 to 30% of us who lose out, right? And so that's a lot of Black female entrepreneurs who are not in the game, so to speak. And usually when you get to that point, finances are crazy. You don't understand what financial wellness is for your business, and you're probably having some issues in your personal life as well. And so we want to catch these entrepreneurs right at the beginning stages. However, if you're not at the 4, 5, 6 year mark and you're still needing the assistance, we are here to help you manage to have a better life, better business, and better results for both your personal life and your professional life.
Wow. I know some of you listening, or you may be catching this on the replay, and you feel like this is the thing for you, or this is something that you've been waiting for or looking for. Dr. Carlene, how can they join? How can where do they go to
And
join?
so, of course, we have the website. It is womenignitenow.com. Again, if you want to reach me by email, it's info@womenignitenow.com. And also, again, if you are really in desperate need, you want to schedule an appointment, you can always call me. We are accessible at 410-831-9151. I have an assistant who will get back to you promptly. We'll schedule some time with you and make sure you are able to move forward if we can help you. You can also find us on Facebook at Women Ignite Now. And so, there are plenty of, oh goodness, we also have an Instagram page. So there are a lot of ways to get in touch with us.
Awesome. So as we wrap up, I want to say thank you. It has been an amazing day to just be able to hear from you and to share with the audience what's going on with Dr. Carlene. She has shared all of her social media platforms. You can email, you can give her a call. If you missed it, go ahead and click that replay button so that you can catch that phone number. And just know that wherever you are today, that's your space. This is your journey. And if you're looking to get to a new space or new journey, definitely reach out to Dr. Carlene. Dr. Carlene, thank you again so much for sharing with SwagHer what's going on in the community. We look forward to connecting and just being a part of your world.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it so much, Tara.
No problem. You have an amazing day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye bye.